Hello, Blythe, Evie, Joe, Jack, Callum, Cadence, Lucy, Orion, and anyone else who's listening to Story Time. It's Story Time, and today's story is Class Clown, written by Robert Munsch, illustrated by Michael Marchenko. And the dedication page says, for Leonardo Gomez Varela, San Antonio, Texas. Robert Munsch. So he's dedicating this book to Leonardo, who is the main character in the story. It begins. When Leonardo was a baby, his mother laughed all the time. She said, "This baby is so funny." Look at how he's throwing all those things up in the air, and his mother's laughing so hard. When Leonardo was 1 year old, his grandma and grandpa laughed all the time. They said, "This baby is so funny." Look, even the children in the background are laughing. Pretty funny baby. When Leonardo was 3 years old, everyone laughed. They said, "This kid is so funny." Everybody is laughing, aren't they? That's amazing. He's playing the broom. When Leonardo was in grade 1, the kids laughed all the time. They said, "Leonardo is so funny. He is our class clown." Do you see how all the children on the playground are laughing? He must be pretty funny. But Mrs. Gomez said, "Leonardo, you have to stop. The kids are laughing all the time, and nobody is learning. Stop being funny." "Okay," said Leonardo, and for the first time in his whole life, he stopped being funny. After 1 minute, Leonardo felt really strange. After 2 minutes, he felt a little bit sick. After 3 minutes, he started to chew his fingernails. After 4 minutes, he started to rock back and forth in his seat. Oh boy, this is making him very nervous not to be funny, isn't it? Look at the big eyes on the girl sitting across from him. He's having a hard time. After 5 minutes, he said, "I know that Mrs. Gomez is really tired of me being the class clown, but I just have to do something funny." So Leonardo looked at the girl sitting next to him and made a funny face. The girl, didn't do anything. So Leonardo made a really funny face, and the girl laughed so hard she fell off her chair and rolled around on the floor. "Stop!" said Mrs. Gomez, but the girl kept laughing. Boy, he is making a pretty funny face. And she is just rolling around laughing, falling right off her chair. "Stop!" yelled Mrs. Gomez. And finally, the girl stopped laughing and got back in her seat. "What is going on?" said Mrs. Gomez to the girl. "I was thinking of something very funny," said the girl. "No thinking in my class," said Mrs. Gomez. "Okay," said the girl. "I will never think again." "Good," said Mrs. Gomez. No thinking allowed in the first grade? Huh. And look at how the girl's sitting with her feet turned in and her eyes are so big. And she didn't want to tell Mrs. Gomez that Leonardo made her laugh because he's not supposed to be funny right now. Leonardo couldn't stop. He said, I know that Mrs. Gomez is really, really tired of me being the class clown, and I will probably get in big trouble, but I just have to do something else funny. So Leonardo leaned over to the boy next to him and told a funny joke. The boy didn't do anything. So Leonardo leaned over again and told a really, really funny joke, and the boy laughed so hard he fell off his chair, rolled around on the floor, and kicked over his desk. Man, it must have been really funny. Look how pleased Leonardo is with his joke. Stop, said Mrs. Gomez. The boy kept rolling around on the floor. Stop, yelled Mrs. Gomez. What is going on? I remembered something very funny, said the boy. Well, don't remember anything in my class, said Mrs. Gomez. Okay, said the boy. I will never remember anything again. Good, said Mrs. Gomez. Wow. So she doesn't want them to think or remember in the first grade. That's kind of odd, isn't it? Leonardo was okay till after lunch. Then he said, I know that Mrs. Gomez is really, really, really tired of me being the class clown, and I will probably get in big trouble, but I just have to do one last funny thing. So, while Mrs. Gomez was writing on the chalkboard, Leonardo drew a funny picture and held it up so everyone could see it. Nobody laughed. It is a pretty funny picture. So Leonardo drew a really, really, really funny picture, held it up, and all the kids in the class laughed so hard they fell off their chairs, rolled around on the floor, and knocked over their desks. Yikes! Look at how they're all just laughing so hard. We can't see what's on the picture. I wonder what he drew. And Mrs. Gomez is not happy. Stop! Yelled Mrs. Gomez. What's going on? It's Leonardo, all the kids yelled. He's being the class clown. Leonardo, said Mrs. Gomez, I have told you to stop being a clown, and now I am getting really, really, really mad. So what do you think he's going to do? Okay, said Leonardo, I will never, ever be funny again. Ha ha, said Mrs. Gomez, and she laughed so hard she fell down, rolled around on the floor, and kicked over her desk. She said, Leonardo, you are so funny. And that was when Leonardo decided that when he grew up, he was going to be a clown. Look at how hard Mrs. Gomez is laughing. Leonardo saying he would never be funny again made Mrs. Gomez fall apart. What kind of clown do you think he's going to be? Well, there he is. He's a surgeon. And he's in the operating room and he's making the patient laugh and he's juggling and he has on a funny nose. So my guess is that Leonardo really is a surgeon and a friend of Robert Munsch. This is the back page, and on the back page, Robert Munsch says he wrote this story for Leonardo, a class clown in San Antonio, Texas. So I hope you like this story. It was kind of fun, wasn't it? Tomorrow's story will be The Berenstein Bears and the Messy Room. I love you all. Have a good evening, and I'll be with you tomorrow for story time when we read The Berenstein Bears and the Messy Room. Bye-bye.